Alright, so I just finished making small talk with my dentist for like an hour. And oh, by the way, sometime thereafter they got around to cleaning my teeth. And after that I figured, well, it's almost Mother's Day. I better swing by the Home Depot and get some flowers for my wife. Which, fellas, it's coming up. You got like a day. If you got kids, you better get your wife something. So figure it out. Anyway, after that, understandably, my wife was kind of wondering where I was. So how's she going to figure that out? Well, I'll tell you. With Tier 1 Telemetry. Alright, well, the flowers went over okay. I might have lost a few points when I wished her a happy birthing person's day. But you know what? I'm not perfect, okay? So let's talk about telemetry. So, the way I've categorized the various types of telemetry we can send. Started with Tier 3 telemetry. This was information pulled from the Raspberry Pi's internal sensor. So from that we can get things like the uptime, load averages, we can get the processor temp. And then we had Tier 2 telemetry. Tier 2 telemetry, we scraped information from the internet and wrote it to a .txt file, which could then be pulled with FSQ. Now here in Tier 1 telemetry, we are using sensors attached to the Raspberry Pi. So in this case, I used a USB GPS adapter and a Python script to write my GPS coordinates to a .txt file once per minute. And so my wife was able to pull that remotely by right-clicking on my call sign on her herd list and selecting read file from. And so this is how she was able to get my GPS coordinates today while I was driving home, so she could figure out where I was. Now from there, we can copy and paste those GPS coordinates from the FLDIGI screen over into the Viking GPS app. Just open up that little lat long tool, copy and paste those coordinates right in, and then punch OK, and you can see right there on the map with the downloaded maps. You can download topo maps, you can download street maps, satellite maps. There's a lot of functionality of that program. I really like Viking GPS for off-grid, offline maps. Just got to spend some time downloading them first. So how do we do this? Well, you need to go back through my JS8 call Crony time sync video. And so we built off of the Smokin' Apes video on how to set up Crony, and there was a few things that needed updated from that video. And so go back through that video and you're going to see how we can set up the USB GPS adapter to actually update our time and our location to your Raspberry Pi computer automatically and without any input. Then go ahead and open up a terminal window and type sudo pip3 install gpsd-py3. If you haven't already, we talked a little bit about it in that video, but if you haven't done the sudo pip3 install, go ahead and do that now. Okay, then go over to my Pi setup checklist at tinyurl.com/Pi setup checklist. Scroll down to section 10. Right now that's on page 19. It might change in the future, but section 10 is what you want. And you're going to see a link to a little Python file called fsqgps.py. So click on that. And Microsoft can be a little bit glitchy at times, but you need to download that little Python script. And that'll go into your downloads folder. So then you can move that over to where it needs to be in the /usr/bin folder by going into your terminal, typing sudo mv, and then paste in the location for where it is in the downloads folder, do a space, and then type in where it needs to go, /usr/bin/ and then it'll move it over there to where it needs to be. Okay, so there's a couple things that we might need to change within the Python script, and you can do that very easily through Linux on your Raspberry Pi computer. So to get into that Python script editor, you'll go back to your terminal window and type sudo nano, and then where it's now located within that usr/bin folder. So sudo nano /usr/bin/fsqgps.py. That'll open it up in the nano editor. And nano editor is very bare bones, but it's very nice too. So we might need to change the username potentially. If you've got a different username than the default Pi, just scroll down or use your arrow keys to go down to where you need to replace that and change it to whatever your current username is. Okay, now back in the crony timesync video. We also set up a desktop file, and what that did was it did this UBX tool reset, and so we set that up to run twice every time the computer boots up. And we're going to use that same desktop file to also start our Python script running whenever the computer boots up. And so you're going to scroll down to the end of where you've got UBX tool -p reset, the second one, and you'll do 2 ampersands. Let's have it sleep for 60 seconds. 2 more ampersands, so once it's done sleeping, then you will type Python 3, and then a space, and then the location of our fsqgps.py. So it's /usr/bin/fsqgps.py. You'll hit Control X, and then punch Y, and then hit Enter to send. After that, reboot your computer. After your reboot, you'll wait the appropriate amount of time for your time sync to update, and then also it will start up this Python script. And go over to that temp folder that FSQ pulls from, and you'll see a little file called gps.txt. This is now your GPS coordinates that can be pulled remotely, and it will update once per minute. If you have any issues with this, drop a comment below, and I'll do my very best to help you out. There's really not a whole lot that can go wrong with this. You got the script, you got the instructions in my Pi setup checklist to go through step by step on how to set it up. It's very simple. It might seem a bit complicated, but if I could do it, I'll tell you what, if dumb medic here can do it, you can do it too. Let me know how it goes, everybody. Good luck.